Okay, another way of catching sharks similar. This is just a generic. If you don't have the special, you don't want to spend bait coins on the special Troy, you can get the just generic Troy. Again, I like the 27-inch leader or float depth. This is also probably a well-known spot. Fishing for shark. Same kind of idea. Um, don't sit at one spot more than 2-3 minutes, especially if you're in a decent peak. Again, I can't stress that enough. Don't sit on dead fishing if you're not catching anything. Rotate or change your bait or do something. And sometimes the game's just broke and you won't catch anything. If that's the case and you can't catch anything at any of your spots, turn your game on and off and hope that resets. But you can see how quick I've already got a bite. Now the difference is, you only want this on one click. This is actually a spod reel, the Griffin spod. But you can see it pulls in faster. And you'll also notice as long as they don't, nice common. You'll also notice they won't get away from you as quickly, but just don't let them get, past 70, 80 feet. Do not fish this in the deep spot with this spod reel, but it does work. And the thing you'll notice is it won't break it like one of the other 13-pound setups. A lot of times you'll lose hooks with the other one, but this is another way to do it. Now the other one's got a little more pulling power because you only got this on one click, if that makes any sense. So your rod's not gonna have as much pulling power. What gets them in is the reel speed, 61 recovery. That's amazing, 61 inches. So we caught this common fairly quick, so it might be kind of slow afterwards, but we did get a common right off the bat. And again, you just patience sometimes helps. The spot's active, so there may be a trophy here, there may not be, but the odds are there is one. If not, you can at least pick up another fish. Now, I could have switched baits out right then and there, and that's all gut instincts, whether you want to stay with it or not. And again, stay within that 60-foot range if you can. I prefer 60. Some people will get 40 and get right up on them. But I'll just scoot back here a little bit. You can reel. Just get a little bit of the line out. Tighten it up. Put your bell down, that way if they bite, by your bell, I mean by flipping your bell on an open face reel. So you can pull that back, and if you get a bite, just hit down on it like that. You don't want the arrow up because you're reeling line. You want it down. But just make sure it doesn't automatically reset. So if you get a fish, you don't want to just sit with it down. I'm only doing that to hopefully discourage scaring them. Same kind of a thing. If you're not getting a bite, you can pull it either way if you're off your marker. But it's a good idea to tease the bobber or the bait, so to speak. If you're not getting a bite in a spot and you get bored, if anything, you can pull it. See, I got it down now. I'm going to go ahead and click it up. Hold your rod up and be ready. And just rip them right in. Okay, so we've caught a common, and we've got a young, so I'm going to rotate just to see if I can get a quicker bite. Again, could be in your head, could not work, but as long as you stay in the parameters of stuff they like, cut baits. I do not use minnows because I just don't want the competition. Sometimes bass are on these islands especially. Even though you got a 10-0 on or an 8-0 or whatever you're running, they seem to interfere. And the same kind of thing here. Since my bobber's in a good spot, I'm not going to do much with it. I've caught shark on all this mark, so I've kind of just got it honed in. Now, since you've caught two fish in one spot, sometimes it takes longer and sometimes it don't. Again, I would hold the rod up. Do not reel until you know that's gone under. And sometimes it could be a fake bite. Okay, now this doesn't always happen, but I've noticed about 80% of the time, 75-80% of the time, if you get those fake bites, it's a trophy. Also, the bigger trophies, you'll notice when they come up and bite, you'll actually see a big fin like that. And I think almost reeled too soon. You can tell by the rod's going crazy, it should be a good fish. Okay, there we go. Back-to-back trophies. At the other spot, this is all in the same net. I'll show you here in a second. But yeah, great. That's how it works. And sometimes you're on fire and sometimes you're not. Obviously, this worked out really well for this tutorial. So I really hope this helps you guys. You guys looking to level up, gain money. Like I said, it may seem kind of cheap, but there's a glitch in the game where you cannot get a regular match rod to in other words, the sharks get stuck on the bottom. So some guy had figured this out a long time ago, that it'll kind of bounce and keeps them from getting stuck on the bottom. But it's really annoying if you're trying to fish them legit with a match rod and not 13-pound line. But anyway, it is what it is. All we can do is adapt. So again, I hope this really helped you guys. Again, looking at the setup, it's just a common. You can get this in the store cheap at a low level even. A 19.8 Troy. Griffin Spod 10,000, 13-pound line. Again, just the key is make sure you only have it one click. Right, see my clicks going up. You only want that on one click. So again, I hope that's really helped you. And you can see just back to back, this is a great shark peak. This is really good shark peak, but they'll bite anytime really. Also, not to make this really long video, but both setups work, but you'll notice with the deluxe Troy, or one you can buy with bait coins, and you got that perfectly max drag, you'll break off more line with that. However, it's got more pulling power, so a lot of times if the guys go playing the shark comps, you'll notice you'll get your line bit off a lot, and that's just because it's so much tension on it. But you'll notice the reel speed, you're trading off, pulling power with the deluxe Troy, to where the 11-pound Troy, with the Griffin Spod on it, that reel will just actually just kick butt. It just goes so fast, it's hard for them to get away from you. As long as you're not, don't get past that 60-foot range. Sometimes they will, but just don't let them get away from you. Also, just looking at my inventory, you can tell there was my haul, maybe like 15 minutes tops. I don't even know if it was 15 minutes. Got 2 trophies, several different baits. So anyway, good luck guys, and I hope you do well.